And we are live. Hello, everyone. I'm Jessie Pineda, and this is Stop Telling Yourself Stories. And today I'm super excited and super grateful with Dr. Lisa Cooney, who's here with me. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you so much, Jessie. It's so good to see you. Hello, everybody, and thank you for inviting me.
It's really, really great having you here. Anyone who has read any of your books or listened to any of your classes knows the amazing contribution that you are or that you can be if anyone chooses you, right? So that is the reason that I asked you to be here, because I've been in one of your classes, I've read your books, and I think that you have so much to give. I know that you do, and that you're so willing to do it. So thank you again.
You're so kind. Thank you so much for those words.
Lisa, this is a show in which I have invited the CFs to come and tell their stories, not from this point of view of definition, but from a space of an invitation, right? So people recognize that despite the lives that we live and the things that we have chosen, we can actually choose different. So that is the energy of this show. And from that space, I would love for you to tell us a little bit about yourself, your childhood, your family, and the stories that you used to tell yourself when you were little.
Well, the biggest story that I used to tell myself when I was little, it's two polar opposites. One was that I would never be standing here at 51 years of age. I never thought I would make it. And then there was this other side of me that was full of possibilities, teeming with possibilities, and knowing that something else was possible. So, I grappled with both of those stories and came out the other side and living in the teeming with possibilities one.
When you were little, what was your life like? What do you remember most about being a child?
Two particular things. It wasn't very fun, and I loved sports. So the greatest freedom that I had was literally playing soccer. And I played 16 years of soccer, and I was quick. I could run up and down the soccer field with the ball, and nobody could catch me. That was the best feeling in the world. Plus, I used to play a lot of sports with a lot of my teammates or friends growing up, and
I lost you.
yeah, that really helped me transform the energies that I was dealing with in my childhood into something positive. And so not everybody has a story. Everyone has experienced some version of tragedy or trauma or not so fun things in their history. My childhood was mired in a lot of that, but the physicality of the sports, the moving my body, the relationship with my body, and the freedom of that, didn't matter what it was: soccer, skiing, handball, tennis, swimming, walking, bike riding, being out with the earth and in the molecules and experiencing that made the sun, even the snow, sometimes the rain, it really made
I'm losing you. Oh, I hear you are. I lost you for a second there.
it keeps going in and out. So what
Yeah.
would it take for the internet to cooperate with this energy and what we're being now?
Please do. When you were a little kid, how would you describe yourself? Like, really outgoing or really shy? Or was there anything in particular that you would call yourself now about that age?
I was really, really shy. I didn't really speak to anyone, which is so interesting how I speak every day, like on this. I didn't speak to anyone. They actually did a lot of tests on me as a kid to see if I had some sort of developmental disability and those sorts of things. But no, I was very quiet. I was very withdrawn. I was very sullen, except when I was on except when I was playing sports with my friends or something like that. Then I was really outgoing, very demanding, very present, and very commanding.
And what would other people think about the way that you behave? The fact that they took you to have tests made on you, that that sort of gives us an idea of what people thought about you being so shy. What were you told about that?
I was told that I was stupid. I'm not sure if someone literally said that to me, but that was the information that I concluded, I guess, from that. I was told that there was something, they were giving me the information that there was something wrong with me, that I didn't fit in with everybody else, because they kept taking me out of class and putting me in the principal's office. I got to take all my tests. In New York, where I grew up, we had these tests that you had to do every couple of months or something like that. They were standard IQ tests or things. I can't remember what they were called. But I always would have to be walked out of the classroom into the principal's office because Lisa was special. She had a special brain. And that was their way of trying to make me feel good about what I wasn't feeling good about and what they weren't feeling good about. But there was nothing wrong with me developmentally or intellectually. I was just different. I was sensitive. I was quiet. I was energetically aware. Now they would call what, they diagnose kids nowadays with what I had back then, which wasn't ADD, but they call it ADD, and different versions of that, because I just couldn't concentrate. There was so much stimulus. I realize now that I was energetically sensitive, and back in the late 60s, early 70s, they weren't as aware of other things like sensitive children, psychic children, empaths, and those sorts of things as they are now.
And as you grew up, did you keep telling yourself that story? Did you believe it? Did you buy it?
Oh, yeah. I bought it, and I pretty much, it's kind of funny, but I bought it, and I pretty much, even in my high school, my mother got me a tutor, and I had to go to school and then get a tutor for hours after school just to maintain a B grade. And when I got to college, all I did really was, I partied a lot. And so I did not want to face. I did not want to face what they were showing me through all my years of school, which was I was always getting kicked out of class for daydreaming. I was always in the principal's office for taking tests. I was always needing a tutor. So I just really thought that there was something wrong with me, that I was stupid, that I was below average IQ, and that, I better learn some sort of trade really quickly, because who's going to ever hire me? And, fast forward years later, and, here I have a master's degree, a doctorate, and a whole lot of other things. So not that they mean you're not stupid, because you could still be stupid with and act stupid with those degrees. But I really had to acknowledge my own brilliance, even though I grew up with, you're not brilliant. Like literally having a mother take me to the library and saying, listen, you can't pay attention. Go sit over there and read something. And
You're back. Okay. And how do you go from that place, from buying those stories, to actually the person who you are today? I'll record it and then I'll just post it over there. So,
okay.
Thank you again, Lisa.
No worries.
We were talking about how you were told a lot of stories about how you couldn't learn, that you were not the same as everyone else, and everyone was trying to make you be the same. That they wouldn't allow you to be different, right? They would do everything possible in their hands so you fit into everyone else's reality or form, right? How did you go from being at that point in your life and having bought all of those stories into the person that you are today?
Well, my story is a little interesting, a little extreme. Really, the turning point came when I was underneath all of this depression and angst and anxiety and just hated life, basically, because I felt so different, like an alien from another planet. And I literally stepped in front of a bus. The bus, I saw the lights. The next thing I knew, I was on the sidewalk, and the bus passed me by, and nobody was behind me. And it was at that moment that I said, well, I'm supposed to be dead and I'm still here. I don't know what touched my shoulder and pulled me back, but I must be here for some other reason than to just kill myself. So I made a commitment at that moment that I probably am not the only person in the world who ever wanted to end their life because of being different or tragedies or traumas or abuses and just neglect and abandonment and being treated poorly. And so I made a decision that I would do whatever it took to get well, get healthy, and live a life that was full of possibilities. Like I knew as a child, there was this bright, blue-eyed, long blonde hair child that I was that would just feel so much imagination and so much creativity and so much joy in the simplicities of living and being and moving with my body, that that's what I committed to. And so it came by way of psychology. It came by way of my degrees. It came by way of energy healing and energy work and licenses and facilitations and all those sorts of things. I thought it was going to come like a different way, like a medical doctor is what I thought. But it didn't. It came that way into the inner workings of how we all tick: consciousness, the minds, the psychology, the physiology. And I wanted to be happy. And I wanted to show people, not only myself first, but also show people that who also had difficult times, that if I could do it, they can do it. Because I really believe that the best examples are what you've lived through and what you've created from what you lived through. Not to focus on what you lived through, focus more on what you created after what you lived through without dragging it with you every day, right? And so that's what did it, was that turning point that day. It wasn't easy, wasn't always fun. I can't say I enjoyed a lot of it, but I can tell you that I'm damn happy now. And I got that childlike innocence back within me that I had then. It was still inside of me, but it was underneath all of that yuckiness. And then I freed it and cleared it and changed it. And here I am.
Do you recall how you started doing that? How you started receiving yourself again?
Yeah, so many different things. So many different things. I just want to make sure my volume's up. One, I went to therapy, traditional therapy back in the day. I read every self-help book I could get my hands on. In college, I did end up studying psychology, and then I went on to a master's in counseling. And then I worked at a treatment center for adolescents, children and adolescents. And then all these things, they developed something inside of me about an awareness of what I was feeling and what I was thinking, what I was perceiving. And it made me realize that everything that I had thought about myself might not actually be true. It might have been from what was mimicked in my environment that I just decided to do. But with education and learning and people that really cared about me, I was able to make a different choice and turn my reality and my life around. And I have to tell you, Jessie, I had what I consider the best teachers, the best supervisors, the best counselors and therapists. And I don't mean like the best, like they were the most expensive or, that I don't mean it like that. I mean, something like that day in the bus from somewhere else, not from here in this reality, but part of this reality, just guided me in my life every time I made a choice for healing, whether it was my master's in counseling, my doctorate in psychology, theta healing, books that I read, therapists I went to, trainings I went to. My life, and I look back from that time until now, so now we're talking about 26 years, there's just like a string of events, like 6 degrees of separation, all leading me to where I am here today. And every single person, community, organization, certification led to it. And all I can say that I did was choose me and choose to be happy, because I was not happy. And so I wanted to be happy. I wanted to enjoy life. I knew that the suffering that I was suffering, if you will, like that wasn't going to be my story, but it was for a lot of years.
From that moment when you chose that, from the moment that you chose happiness and build your happiness, and all of the process that you went through, did you have any setbacks? Did you ever like
Yeah.
quit for a moment?
Oh yeah, for sure. I quit by way of life-threatening diseases, not once, but twice. I quit by way of, I learned that I had an allergy to alcohol, which is kind of weird because I actually loved drinking and going out to dinner and having drinks, but I had an allergy, so I acted different and I didn't know it until I did. And so I had to make a choice about that, keeping that in my life or not keeping that in my life. And obviously I made the choice. Since it was going to kill me, I figured, maybe I should stop. Like if you have a peanut allergy and you're going to die from it, you might as well not eat it unless you really want to die. So I realized I didn't want to die. So I became more different and separated myself from the rest of the world who drinks alcohol in a certain way. But I can still go out and do whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me anymore. It was more about a choice within myself. Those things, I got into a whole lot of debt, some financial trouble, the alcohol, the sicknesses, the illnesses. I was 80 pounds heavier than I am today. These are all ways that I gave up, Jessie. They're all ways that I chose to kill myself or not live happy like that kid. And I chose to take everything from my childhood and wear it on my body as an armor of, I don't even know what I was thinking. I probably wasn't thinking at all. And then I just, like I said, choice after choice after choice, kept going forward. And I think it's the Irish in me. just definitely the New Yorker, the Irish, the Italian. I don't know what it is, but I was like, hell no, I'm not giving up. And I still have that like fighter spirit inside. I don't fight anything really as much anymore. Very little if I do. Maybe I do more than I'm aware of. But that fighter kept me alive, that drive. And then once I coasted the last couple of years on this choice to be happy, the commitment to close some back doors to, let's say, the alcohol, then things got easier. And they're the most easy they've ever been in my life today at 51. And I have to tell you, I've heard stories like life gets better after 50. Well, I'll tell you what. 50 was a turning point in my life, and thus far, 51, which is only less than a month now, has been hella fun.
That sounds great, actually. A lot to look forward to.
Yes, look forward, not back.
Forward always.
Learn from my mistake.
Besides choice, do you have any other tools that you always keep at hand? Anything that you love that you actually hold on to make it through this?
One of the things I do, and I do with my clients, and I do in everything that I facilitate or instruct, is hand on thymus, hand on pubic bone. And I started doing this on planes traveling around the world. And to really just kind of get centered and get present with myself. And thymus, pubic bone, and it's kind of like getting spaced into yourself and saying hi to your body, literally. Hi body, hi body, hi body, hi me, hi me, hi me, hi earth, hi earth, hi earth. And hola cuerpo, hola cuerpo, hola cuerpo, hola yo, hola yo, hola yo, hola tierra, hola tierra, hola tierra. And then as you breathe through your mouth, connecting the brain and the body, surfing your breath like a wave in the ocean. Like, just when you're in the ocean, just floating back and forth, touching the four corners of the room with your energy, expanding as far up and down and right and left as you would like while you're breathing and holding yourself, present with yourself, expanding forward and back, and then breathing that same energy in from the back of you, in from the front of you, from the right and the left, up through your feet, down through your head. High body, high body, high body. High me, high me, high me. High earth, high earth, high earth. And then I started asking myself questions like, I use a phrase, I don't know how, I know it will be. Universe, show me. I'm grateful and fulfilled, and so it is. And that was what I started using, particularly 3 years ago, when I realized I was such a control freak that I was trying to control the outcome of everything, even though it was in the guise of what I thought was asking a question. Well, if you're deciding something and looking for a result already with your mind, that's not a real question, and that's not real asking the universe to, help you. That's actually more like trying to control it. Well, when you control it, you have to focus everything, and you kind of lose, or potentially lose, the magic, right? So I don't know how. I had to do this just to get out of my mind. And the control. I don't know how. I know it will be. It was just kind of like, I don't know how. I know it will be. Universe, show me. I'm grateful and fulfilled, and so it is. And then I put my request out there. And, that just did it for my special brain. Because remember, I lived in school, was really my youth growing up. I spent the first 36 years of my life in some sort of formal education in this finite reality. And then, entering into the world of choice and possibility and question and all of that stuff, I had to completely change the way that I was looking at things and how I was being to get out of that control. And so this was one way that helped me. I don't know how, I know it will be. Universe, show me. I'm grateful and fulfilled, and so it is. Show me the next right step. I'd hear something, sense something, know something, and then act on that. And so those are some tools. And the other tool, I just did this 9-day challenge about amping your life up. And it started with these 9 days, every day, 30 minutes a day. We would do, ask one question, take one action, and name 3 gratitudes every day for 9 days. And I've started a gratitude text messaging thread with somebody, a colleague of mine, about 2 years ago, and it changed my life. No matter what was going on, the text came in from her, whether I was in Istanbul or Mexico or wherever, and it would take me out of, oh man, I feel this, I'm tired and it's not going my way, to like, I'm grateful for pancakes. I'm grateful for the rose. I'm grateful for gum. I'm grateful for Skittles. I'm grateful for this water. And it totally changed the physiology of the way I looked at things, that no matter what's going on, there's always something to be grateful for. Your feet, your breath, this conversation, the sun that's out there, my puppy that stands right here by my feet whenever I do this, There's always something to be grateful for. So yeah, that was a big question. Those are the things that I do every day, and sometimes all of those every day.
And the space that they create, this exercise, I love it. I enjoy so much the space that it creates around me. And gratitude, of course, keeps you present, right?
Oh, God, yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. And that childhood that we talked about first on StreamYard and now here, I wasn't grateful for people or school or noticing me, or even because all they did was identify a problem. Well, I had to start getting grateful for everything and change my brain out of, oh no, what's the problem, to, oh, what's the possibility?
That is great. What invitation would you like to be today for those who are going to listen to this program?
The invitation that I would really like to be is to share with you that you're not alone, that you matter, that you exist, and your presence is a gift, and it's required on this planet. And if you're feeling alone or sensing alone, or not quite where you want to be in your world, reach out and see who you can contribute to, and I guarantee it will change what you're looking at and the way that you're looking at. And if you don't feel like you have that to give, or sense that you have that to give, reach out to someone. And guarantee that their hand will reach back out to you and they will collaborate with you to create a greater result. So it can work either way. You give or you reach, and then you'll get, and somebody else will get. That's the giving and receiving of this beautiful universe that we live in.
What a beautiful invitation. You are always creating things. What do you have next to invite us to? You are always creating something, and I love all of your creations.
Well, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Funny, I just met with my team today, and we've got a lot of fun things coming up. So I have a whole, the Creating After Abuse book is in the midst of being published, and I'm going to do a book club on that for the first time ever. Read that book for the first time ever in public. So that's coming up. I have a membership coming up, private membership for people in my business. If you would like to join, where you get specials and a special call with me and discounts and things like that, and gifts and bonuses. All of this starts in January. But you can look on drlisacooney.com/events. I'm also in the process of writing another book called The Body of Change, which will kind of detail what I did to change my body from, dis-ease to ease, from illness to health, from poverty to wealth, and what I had to do to change that, and what I had to listen to in order to navigate a new reality as a body and being on this planet. And then classes, plenty of classes to participate in. And this weekend, I'm doing a Creating Your Financial Reality class, which is based loosely on the Lies of Money book. That's available in many different languages. And you are welcome to join for that if you'd like to create a little bit more money for the end of the year presents and gifting, or just for the honoring of you and your body and your business.
That sounds great. I can't wait for that book. When is it coming out?
Well, which one? The body one?
Yes, the body one.
It's going to take about another 6 months for it to be in the publishing part. But the Creating After Abuse one, you'll be seeing that soon. And before it gets out there, I'm going to be reading it on the book club.
Oh, that's going to be great. All of these.
I got to tell you, that book, Jessie, Creating After Abuse, it was in a number of different publishing houses, a number of different editors. It's like it literally took up until COVID to birth it. And I know what it was about. And this is what I want to tell people, like talk about being an invitation. I knew somewhere inside, or the book knew, that I hadn't fully, in a certain way, created after abuse. But during this COVID time, at the same time this book getting out and getting published or accepted to publish came together in energetic congruence. And now it's coming out in the world. And that literally is what makes me the most happy at 51. Not about the book, but the energetic congruence that the book taught me. Nope, not yet, not yet. Okay, now, boom. So when you get an energetic congruence with yourself, the universe will conspire and bless you to give you the treasures, the joy and the happiness that you know is possible. Never give up before the miracle.
And be able to receive it, right? Be willing to receive it.
Yeah, that's the key. It's the art of receiving, not only to put it out to the universe and do it, but then to allow it and have it and really embrace it. Thank you for bringing that up. True story.
True story. Thank you so much, Lisa, for your time and for your patience, because you waited for me to change platforms and everything else, and you're still here, and I know that you're always busy, so I am super grateful for you spending this time with us.
Kind, Jessie, and I'm so grateful for you, and I love the moments that we got to share here. And I hope my words are a contribution to you beautiful beings out there, and thank you for creating this for the gift that you be for them too, with this, what you've done before and what you will do after. Thank you. The world requires you.
Oh, thank you so much. Those are so sweet words. I appreciate them. And I'll send you a big hug, and I hope to see you soon. I'll be looking at all of your creations as usual. I'll post them on this live, which I will eventually put on my page and share it with the world.
One last thing, everybody out there, if nobody has told you that they love you today, I do.
Oh, big hugs. Thank you for that.
Bye
This
now.
is to
Take care.
you.
Stay safe.
Goodbye.